We just gonna go ahead and start the show, man. You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready, bro.
Baseline.
Hey. Cause it's the Porch Podcast. Come on. And it's the Porch Podcast. It's the Porch Podcast. Come on, raise your glass. It's the Porch Podcast. Influential, I'm back. It's episode 59. Every time we start, you know I gotta hit a rhyme. Line for line, line for line. Here I go. I got the illest flow. Freestyle off the top of the dome, top of the noggin. I got you hooked on my ebonics. Freestyle fanatic, I'ma do it like I'm from Philly. Nah, from the silly, you get it. Philly fanatic, flyer than the average guy that you ride with. I don't really care. I got me a side knob, no side dish. Influential, try this. Keep going, I'ma make the beat last. Just raise another glass, and then I might pass. You know why? Gotta get it laugh, why? Cause it's the Porch Podcast, come on, and it's the Porch Podcast, yeah, and it's the Porch Podcast, come on, and it's the Porch Podcast. Let's go, 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 let's go. Welcome to the Porch Podcast. Welcome to the Porch Podcast. It's your boy DJ E, Mr. Influential, and I'm rocking with my brother.
The original.
That's it, P. That's it. And what is this, man? We had episode what? Episode 59, and we call this one Character.
Yeah, I thought I was gonna have to turn into a character just now. I heard a noise. Something fell hard.
Something fell.
Yeah, man, something fell hard over here. Yeah, I got a little froze.
Oh, in your house. I'm about to say, not over here.
Nah, first and foremost, man, welcome to episode number 55, Character.
59.
Hey, man,
59, you swinging. You just said 55. You really just said 55, and we on episode 59.
You're right. Episode 59. And like I said, I'm still trying to figure out what that noise was that behind me. Hey, man, welcome back, man. And
Freddy Krueger enough.
Character, baby. I ain't worried about it. Character. Hey, man, if you got Hey, if you're sipping tonight, you got yourself some Earth Angel, whatever it is, man. Toast, man. Toast from, the Porch Brothers to y'all. And if not, you listening to it and it's in the AM, you can sip it and, sip on your tea and your coffee and enjoy the show just fine. But, yeah, man, we back, man. Episode number 59, Character.
We call this one Character. Yes, it.
That's it. So E, gonna jump right into the equation, my brother.
All right, I'm with you.
Character, man. Character is a big thing, right? And I think that you understand that more when you start to understand that it's more like credit. You
Right.
got credit, like good credit, bad credit. I think character works a lot like credit.
Right.
Right?
Right.
That's my opinion, right? Because when you aren't a person who stands on your word,
Right.
and then your actions don't fall in alignment with your word,
Right.
then your character comes into judgment,
Pretty much so.
right? A little questionable. So, you know how we do, bruh. We sit back and we unpack.
As I
different
sit
things.
back, relax.
Exactly. The terms. And this week's term, like I said, being character, man, was a good one, man. I'm glad we came up with this one because I really want to get deeper to this conversation about character and all the characters that you actually possess inside of you too. Pause. It's up to you if you want to acknowledge those guys tonight, man. One of them, showed up earlier. You just did his intro sound, and then
He came. He just came for a little bit. He just came for a little bit. Nothing serious though.
Nah, he showed up and showed out. The one thing I like about him, man, versus you, man, you get an attitude sometimes, man.
Who,
Merlin
me?
don't have an attitude, man.
Shit. Why you think Merlin ain't got no attitude?
Or maybe it's just not as strong as yours or something, man. Like, you're
Merlin.
not bad. You're not bad. Don't get me wrong, man. But you know what I mean? You get a little
I get a little
snippety sometimes.
I get a little flustered probably. I say flustered.
Yeah. What's the name show up, man? Merlin.
Yeah.
He show up, and no matter what the problem is, all he brings is a magic wand, man. That's all he brings. And
Merlin got to come do something with Pepe that's out here.
Yeah, well, what I'm gonna say is this, man. I'm glad that that's one of the characters that you actually possess, man. And I'm glad that that guy takes the time, you know what I mean, to help us out when we in the bind. You know what I mean? But that's just one character. Ooh, I'm glad that that you keep with you pretty regularly.
Yeah,
Now,
I got some characters I got rid of over the years though.
oh, talk about it.
Young Dirk Diggler, I was him.
Young
I was,
Dirty?
yeah, I was young Dirky. Yeah, I was young Dirk Diggler.
So, I'm glad you got rid of Young Dirk, man.
You don't really see me. A lot of people still call me Clip Man, but I clipped it too. I ain't been out there, I told you, man. After a while, you got to retire from clipping because you've done it too much. So now it's like when you show up,
right?
You know what I mean? Like Jay Reed couldn't go under another case once he locked up God. He couldn't do another case after that. They all knew who Jay Reed was.
Right. He was really, really in too deep.
Right. He was in too deep.
What I mean?
You know what I mean?
But
now he's getting the cadets ready. That's all I'm saying. I get the cadets ready.
So I'm gonna say this though, right, about character too.
Yes, sir.
I do is one of the things we touched on earlier was I think at least as a man, I'm gonna say probably across the board for everybody, but as a man, when your character is in question, unless you're the type of person that just know you ain't about nothing in life,
right?
It's a little bit different, man. It's a hard pill to swallow, man.
Right.
When you look up at somebody, questions not so much your ability, but the integrity. Like ability is one thing, right? Like if a person say, well, I never seen E do that. I don't know if he could do that. They're not really saying that you're not incapable of doing it. They just can't, they've never seen you do it.
Right.
But when you question a person's integrity, it's the difference between asking a person, can he do it and will he do it? It's just it's a difference. You know what I mean? So you turn around and a person puts your character in question. Now you got to start really saying whether or not you either want to prove them wrong, or if you just want to go ahead and tell them, look, go ahead, man, I'm too,
Or just tell them
I don't have time to invest into that.
Yeah, or tell them like I just ain't got time to entertain that stupid shit. Sometimes you got to do that to people, and they understand better that you really don't care what they think about you. You know what I mean? Yeah. And now I realize where you pull character at, because you're right. That was part of the conversation we was having earlier. Yeah, I'm not gonna go into detail, but I get what you're saying now. Yeah, it makes sense. I was wondering, we just character, and I was talking about something different now because that kind of was going where I was at with my shit. Like, I was born ready, like ready to fight.
Right. Yeah, I think because of the fact that character, right? Unfortunately, people often put comparison into the equation when they start to try to challenge a person's character, right?
Yes.
So the comparable is different. Like for instance, me being a junior, it's a difference, right? So in terms of character, quote unquote, me and you, E, we come from good stock.
Good
right?
stock.
So we got good credit.
Yeah.
Whether it's a situation of whether or not they know us to do it or not, or, because of the fact that we come from parents that, made sure that their word was they bond and they did what they needed to do to keep good character.
Right.
Now, that's a good thing. That's why I say it's kind of like credit. Sometimes when you got a co-signer, you got people that can vouch for that situation, it's cool.
Mm-hmm.
The problem comes in when two things. First off is comparison, right? Mm-hmm. The person starts saying, well, he's a little bit different. He's not like his father. And you go, and what does that mean?
Yeah.
My dad was a good guy.
Yeah.
I'm a good guy. I'm just not my father. So Are you questioning my ability to be the original me of good character and my character? Or are you busy comparing me to the character of the person that you know?
Well, you know what? Like you said, with you being a junior, you actually probably did go through that a lot. You know what I mean? Me being the original E, you know what I mean?
No doubt.
I'm not saying I ain't never been compared, but some people just don't. It'd be so stupid as hell how some people don't realize Like, damn, I didn't even realize that was your dad. But you knew that P was my brother and that was his dad.
Right.
That's kind of stupid. But I get it. You know, he could have had different fathers, but we don't. You know, I mean, I
Right.
look a lot like the nigga. I don't understand why
Right.
I even had to hear that from time to time. But they've never said you're not. Well, I've heard you just like your father, and I've also heard, well, you're a little different from your dad. But even with having characters, you don't become a full blown splitting image like some people would try to make people. Even when they say, "Oh, you're a splitting image of your father," if you really got to know me, you will see that I'm not. Not saying anything is wrong with being that, because
Right.
you know our dad is a great guy. But
No doubt. No
what I'm
doubt.
saying is, he also taught us to be our own men. So you're looking for a particular trait to try to base my character off of one single trait instead
Right.
of my full blown characteristics.
Right.
You know, character is short for characteristics, which it comes back like you said with credit. You know, like I remember one time I was somewhere and I was going to work and then I came around the corner. You remember we used to be heavy sneakerheads, and then I'm walking. They was like, "Man, hey, your sneakers look crazy. They dusty as hell today, man. I ain't even in your character." Hold up, bro. You judging my I get where you going with it. But you judging my character off sneakers. Nigga, I just cut like three lawns over here and made some money. About to get some new J's right now. What do you mean?
Right.
You sound
So
stupid.
they made you a poo putt. They made you poo putt, and they made you, how can I say, quote unquote, less than yourself because you had on dusty sneakers.
Right. But I was just
Not
doing some work.
realizing that came from you actually hustling and grinding and getting some money. You know what I mean? And they turned around and made that it wasn't in your character to have sneakers that had dust on them, even though they don't even know that you just came from grinding and getting to the bag.
And then I'm at work today.
Right.
A perfect example. I had my back turned. It was like, who that influential? Yeah.
Nice.
Boy, you, it's only a selective. You and a couple other dudes I know can come up here with a fresh pair of constructs and they go home clean, man.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, like, that's
Yeah.
just how I go sometimes.
Yeah, it is. I mean, but the thing about it too, though, bro, it's funny because once again, the comparisons, I'm gonna tell you, it often puts people in a position where their introduction could be wrong,
Right.
right? So like you meet a person, and they turn around and they find out, like I said, just using Pop for an example, whatever kind of relationship that they had, it's almost like they anticipate having that relationship with you like that, even though there's no, whatever it took to build that relationship between them and Pop, that wasn't there. You know what I mean? And it's not a bad thing, but it's a reality, right? Like, if you turn around and my dad, let's say we owned, a tool store or a hobby shop or whatever.
Right.
And I think me and you talked about this before, probably on Family Business.
Yeah.
But person comes into the shop and you in a situation where you don't kind of run it the same way. When your dad used to give me a 20% discount. And it ain't necessarily that you are against that, but in the same token, it's about how you present that.
Right.
Like you came in with the expectation to get a 20% discount because that's what my father gave you.
Right.
So if I don't honor that based on how you came into the situation, you'll turn around and say, "Oh, you different than your dad. Your character, man. I don't know, man. You're a little funny acting." No, I'm doing business. And I'm not saying that Pop wasn't doing business, but I'm doing business. So if that makes you think that my character is funny because I'm doing business, then it is what it is.
A real good example of that is the movie Barbershop.
Right.
With Ice Cube and his dad did certain things. Even though I understood what Cedric was going at, because you can't give everybody a free haircut. However, that type of service you can give a person free, because what you use extra little juice in your clippers. You know what I mean? But
Right.
what we're using is, if I'm giving you a product that I had to pay money for. Now I'm not saying you ain't paying money for the depending with the spray and all that stuff, but that little bit ain't killing it. You get what I'm saying? That's why barbershops have always been a good business. But what it really is that person's character never really was a support that person's character was more so, I'm coming for the discount. You see what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
obviously, we had a shop. We would be a small mom and pop shop, so you would understand that we gotta kind of charge, do what we do to stay in business,
Mm-hmm.
and we trying to get new customers. It's like the other
Right.
day I was at work, and a coworker of mine, I was talking to him, and I'm like, I'm looking at him eat his sandwich. Right, he got a sandwich for lunch. I'm saying, yo,
Mm-hmm.
I said, you only buy everything in Trenton, don't you? He said, yeah. How can you tell? I said, because where you got your sandwich from? You got your sandwich. You know, you got. I'm not shitting on the place or
Right.
something.
Right. Right.
But
Right.
you
Right.
got your hoagie from Blimpies. I don't know many people that go to Blimpies unless they work downtown.
Right.
You
Right.
understand what I'm saying? Like, you
Right.
drove over to Blimpies
Mm-hmm.
where we're located. You could have went somewhere where it was a parking lot and parked there and went to this deli, that deli, that. But Blimpies don't even got a parking lot. You probably
Right.
called, ordered the sandwich, pulled up, and they brung it out to you because you're a regular customer. You know what I
Right.
mean? And then he was ordering dinner tonight, and he ordered Chinese food. I said, where you get that from? He said, Popo's. I said, yeah, I figured that. Not only do you just buy in Trenton, but you buy downtown Trenton.
Mm-hmm.
And I knew that because that's in your character. Like, not just the fact that I'm looking at where you got your sandwich from. You've always represented your hometown to the fullest. So
Right.
regardless
Right.
if the price goes up or whatever, that because he's there, because he's supporting these businesses because they're in his hometown, and he understands that spending that dollar at home is just going to make this economy thrive. And have sort of like how everybody want to go back to a Black Wall Street like it was in Tulsa, Oklahoma. What they don't understand is that dollar just continue to be spent in that community.
Mm-hmm.
That's how that area was able to stay like that, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And to a certain extent, you know, I love Trenton. Of course, I buy in Trenton when I'm at work, you know, and I'm doing business there. But because I've moved
Mm-hmm.
where I live at, I support it the same way, you know.
Yeah.
And
I think.
I get it. But again, I say all that to say that's a part of my character.
Got you. No, I think that's what I was. That's what I was saying as well. I think people are like the comparisons, right? Not
Right.
you were comparing anybody,
No, no, no. I know what you mean.
but the comparisons go along, with the expectations that people have based on history
Right.
and based on introduction, right? So like a person meets you and they find out that you're a DJ, or they meet you as a DJ. You know what I mean? Their expectations are whatever it is if they have never seen you, you know, rock a party for lack of terms.
Right.
So with them rocking not ever seeing you that, they gotta basically go off of word of mouth from somebody else, introduction, until they can actually see you in action.
Right.
Like to me, that's a person who approaches that situation a little bit differently. Like they're open to the reality that they can't judge you on your professionalism or any of those things because they don't have any history of it. So they're going to go by way of doing business with you to understand what your character is. If you're a punctual person, will you
Right.
deliver on what you say you're going to deliver on? And they give you a clean slate to be able to develop that concept of what your character is with them.
Absolutely.
Versus a situation where you look up, some people have expectations, and like I said, that comparison. You know what I mean? I went one place and the guy seen my name on the roster and was like, "That's not you." And I'm looking at him like, "Come on, man, what's
How
wrong
you
with you?"
gonna tell me who the fuck?
That's me. Well, you
Ooh.
you well you definitely ain't the one I anticipated because I know he would be older, and I was like, "That's my pop," but like at the moment I was more or less like, let me go ahead and get my thing, bro, because I gotta go sit down. And that right there, our introduction was weird.
Yeah.
Now that
Yeah.
wasn't really so much him questioning my character, you know what I mean? But at that moment, I just felt like, he kind of just stepped out of bounds on the situation. My character is what it is, right? And
Yeah.
if you don't get to know it for yourself, and you start to make speculations, or you start to make questions about certain situations, at this
Special
point in my life,
speculations. I just made
right,
that up.
I kind of start to withdraw from you And the reason why it's like that is because if you already got a preconceived notion of who you think I am based on like how I'm gonna be and my character,
You
before
know,
I even open my mouth or even meet you, then I don't need to waste no time to get
but you
close to
know,
you.
you know what, bro? With you, that comes with growth because that is your character now, and your withdrawal is the like one of the most politest ways that I've seen a person say, "Hey man, f you, man. Like I'm good, man. I don't even you made it so weird that I ain't even gotta know you, man. You know
Yeah,
that
yeah,
comes with
because
growth, man.
it does, and you fight an uphill battle on a slippery, on ice, and it's just like because of the fact that now I'm trying to create the character
Ice,
that you want to
ice,
be
baby.
comfortable with, right? So if I meet a person, even in the dating world, bro, because clearly I don't know nothing about that,
Yeah,
thank God I've been, blessed to be in the same relationship, you know, for a long time, and someone who has been in that scene, I'm quite sure your character has been questioned on multiple occasions because you
oh
wouldn't just go
yeah,
along with whatever a person wanted you to do. Oh, you
yeah,
ain't no real. Then you ain't real. You ain't real. You know what I mean? You ain't
yeah.
official. Like why? Because I won't, subscribe to that situation that you want me to subscribe to.
I literally had a chick tell me one day, back in the day, like, "E,
Mm.
what's up, man? You know what I mean? Kick your game to me." I said, "That's where you're wrong. I don't kick game. I don't play
Yeah.
games. I don't kick it. I don't nothing. You know what I
Right.
mean? I got no, like Nas said, I got no game. It's just some bitches understand my story. That was my thing back in the day. You know?
Mm. Okay.
Yeah,
I understand.
and it's just I'm not being cocky or nothing, but kick my game.
Yeah.
That just didn't even
I'd be
sound right
kind
to
of.
me.
I'd be a little nervous if somebody
I
just
was just like,
listen.
you know what? Unhook.
You know.
I almost said, yo, just unhook my joystick, man. You know what I mean? I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm good.
Cause you be like, the way I'm digesting that personally. It's like submit your application.
Yeah,
Leave your resume. You know, I'll get in touch with you. Shoot your shot. I'm hearing all those things.
yeah.
You know what I mean? And my thing with that is that
But when you
first
shoot
and
your shot, you
foremost,
playing the game.
right? But what
I
I'm
don't care if
saying
it's
is
a
is
three ball. You playing duck hunt,
right.
um,
Yeah,
Call of Duty. You shoot your shot.
I would be so uninterested
Yeah, they
in a
did.
situation
It
like that.
made me. Yeah, it made me uninterested. It did.
Yeah,
I ain't-
because you want me to apply, to see whether or not we can have anything.
right.
I'm already looking at your character funny. I ain't even gonna front. I guess at that point I'm kind of guilty of it by your terminology of shooting, shoot your shot. But when I look at that be applied anywhere else, even from the slang element of it and anything else, it means make an attempt.
Right.
Now, if you telling me to make an attempt, I want to control that. Like I'd like to be able to control whether or not I'm going to attempt to talk to you.
Right.
That should be something that I'm in control of. If you have to give me, you know, the word to make the attempt,
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of looking at it a little bit differently. I don't know if I'm quite as interested. That's
Right.
just the kind of thinking that I have. You know what I mean? Now, some other people, they may need that to
Oh, it
shoot their
depend.
shot.
It depend on their character
Right.
and
It does.
how bad they want it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. Like,
And
it's a
that goes
difference.
male. That goes male and female. You know, there's females out here shooting their shot. You know.
Right. And I'm not mad at a person being direct because I think at this day and age, I think what happens is people become direct.
Ain't nothing wrong with people being direct.
And ain't,
That's
and,
that's
ain't, and
cool.
ain't nothing wrong with that because to me, I understand that you want to. But see, even, how can I say, there's a way to go about doing all of those things.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So if you want me to shoot my shot, you need to make sure that you're being as honest about who you are as possible so
Right.
that I'm intrigued, right? Or interested in doing that.
Right.
If it's only by invite, it's different. Like if I make an attempt to advance myself towards you or show interest in you,
Right.
and you turn around and you tell me that you're not interested, it's okay because we both was being honest in the situation.
Mm-hmm.
But if I don't say nothing, or if I take my time and I'm trying to let you see the character who I am, who the person who I am, and you have to turn around like, yo, you're not moving fast enough. You know what I mean? Shoot your shot. Then my thing is I'm not gonna move at a speed that you want me to, because once we set the speed to what you comfortable with, that's the speed we got to move at all times.
Only got one speed, man. That's go.
You understand what I'm saying, though?
Yeah, that's what Charlie Sheen said. Yeah, no, I get it. I get exactly. But again, that goes into their character. That's the character that they have.
Yeah, right.
That's
I
the
agree.
character that they carry.
No, I
That they
agree.
carry. You know what I mean?
I agree.
You know,
I
and
agree.
a lot of times, of course, your character, credibility, all you want to call it, comes from consistency. See what I'm saying?
Mhm.
See, the two things in life that's going to always dictate which way we going is discipline and consistency. Okay,
I
so
agree.
if I'm out here and I was hustling, right,
Mhm.
until I get caught and I'm getting everybody know I'm just a person that's hustling. I'm not even just talking about drugs, whatever a person's selling, but say it was illegal. Okay, until I get caught, I'm hustling, and then I go to jail. Now, when I go to jail, if I come home and never go back to hustling, for a while, they're still going to say I'm the hustler, right? Because that's the character and that's what I was labeled as. But as time goes on, if I stay disciplined and not go back to hustling and just go to work and start a legitimate business and make money, now I'm just a businessman. Now I'm
Right.
still a hustler in a different way, though. You see what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
what really builds character is discipline and consistency. You know, 59 episodes makes us podcast hosts.
No doubt.
That
No
point
doubt.
blank period. 59
Right.
episodes makes us
Right.
podcast
Right.
hosts.
I agree.
Numerous amounts of parties that I've DJ'd makes me a DJ.
Mhm.
The fact that I will always come on Facebook and be clicked it to clip, you know what I mean, makes me the clip man, the shut off guy, clip king, everything that like, cause that's consistently did that. T.I. always use this, called himself the king of the South for years, and then people started labeling him the king of the South. He is now turned into comedy. He's doing comedy now. This is a new endeavor. Did you see it?
No.
Yeah, T.I. is now doing comedy. Everybody's looking at it like T.I. the rapper. But if he continues to do it and he's funny and he keeps going, now you're going to label him as a comedian. It's just like when Jamie Foxx came off the stage as a comedian and started singing songs, really other than the Jamie Foxx show and really was putting out albums. It wasn't until Unpredictable and all, blaming on the goose and all that type of stuff happened, is what made him now an R&B singer. So discipline and consistency is what helps really shape your character. You know?
I agree. I agree. And with that, talking about character, man, a lot of times, man, when you get ready to have an event, man, you got to get into character so you can be able to be ready for that, that big event that you got going on. And I just want to let you know, man, that if you're looking for a company that's a full service event company, you can look no further than the one I'm going to let you know about right now. Hey, E, let them know. Look, check it out. Let's get that stress off your plate. All right? Got that big event coming up, and you don't want to have to do all the work. I got a company for you, full service event company that's going to take care of all of your event planning needs. That's www.fncevents.com. A full service event planning company. Take all the stress off your head, kick back and enjoy the party. Once again, that's www.fncevents.com. Head on over there, get that party booked and get it done. Back to the show.
It's that you got in your hand, man.
Yes, sir. That's fncevents.com. Never sanitizer, brother.
All right.
fncevents.com. But no, man, talking about that situation dealing with character, like I said, and I think that the older that we get and we realize just how much in alignment that it is with credit, really, really, when you think about it, if you got bad credit, you usually have bad character.
Mm-hmm.
And, and I ain't some, I'm talking about bad credit in the sense of dealing with people, not so much,
Right.
Financially. But I mean, if you're accountable and you tell people that you're going to be a place and you're there on time and you do what you say you're going to do, then people are going to always be able to keep you in mind when it comes time for whatever they need you for.
Your credibility. It's just
Right.
like, bruh, if we missed a week of posting a show,
Mm-hmm.
people could say, "Man, they missed the show." That ain't their character.
Word, they can say that.
Yeah, because we haven't missed one, you know.
Right.
Or if I'm DJing an event and I just don't show up,
Mm-hmm.
somebody might say, "Man, you gotta check on E. That ain't his character not to just show up," you know. Or P said he gonna be here at 5. It's 7:30, man. I ain't heard nothing. That ain't in his character.
At all.
You see what I'm saying? So, you know, that's where all of this comes into play. You know.
Yeah,
But at the same time,
Mhm.
you know me, I play with the capacity, the depths of, and the definitions of words. So, character, do you have the actual definition of it for me?
For character.
Character.
Give me a second, bro. I pull it
Give
up for you
you
while
a
we discussing that.
second.
While we got that going on, man. I mean, I think that, like you were saying before, though, you know, people are accustomed to treat people a certain type of way,
Right. Right.
and when they run into a person that's not going to tolerate that, unfortunately, unfortunately,
Unfortunate to have you, girl. I'm
people
so
turn
glad.
around and what they do is they actually, you know, let it be known, like, I'm not gonna let you do what you want to do. You may have other people around here intimidated for one reason or another. You know who you are, and you know what you've done, you know, may speak volumes to certain people, and I'm not trying to disrespect you, but I'm not gonna allow you to do it to me.
Right.
And somebody may turn around and say, "Oh man, this guy hard to work with, man. I can see right now he's gonna be problematic." You know what I mean? You know, and people who have known you for years turn around
Right.
and say, "What guy?" And they say your name, or they say that person's name, and they turn around and say, "Nah, brother, you got the wrong impression of him. That's not his character. That's not how he is at all."
Mm-mm.
So if he's like that with a situation with you, I could pretty much bet that there was something that was said that
Yep.
made him respond in the way that he did.
Mhm.
So the definition to the word character, just to give you that, since I have it pulled up now, was the mental and moral qualities distinctive to an individual. The second one is a person in a novel, play, or a movie. But the primary one, like I said, the first one is the mental and moral qualities distinctive to an individual.
Now I'm glad you explained it. I'm glad you said the second one because
Mhm.
even when a person plays a character in a novel, whether it's a
Little novel,
little novel,
still writing a little novel.
I say all that to say this, man. At the same time,
Shout out to Stewie.
shout out to Stewie from Family Guy. At the same time, when a person plays a character,
That's
when
right.
they play it so good,
Mm-hmm.
that now becomes them, even if it isn't them. Like for example, shout out to Power Book 2 Ghost. I don't give a damn anything else Zeke playing. They're gonna always look at him as being halfway slow.
I mean, every meme.
Yeah.
I mean, everything, man. I know that brother wherever he is. I don't know
He-
his real name.
He's a singer too, man. He
You
got a
was telling
single
me
out
that.
called Fire, man. He's a singer. Got a video.
And I don't know if they'll ever, like, when they see it, they're going to be thinking Zeke.
I'm telling you. But this is what I mean, how it goes. Now, he's not a fair assessment because what else do you know him from? I'm not saying he didn't play in anything else. But personally, where else do you know him from?
Right.
But then when you use a person like, damn. See, I can't even think of a real name, but
What, like a comparison with him?
no. But Annalise Keaton from How to Get Away with Murder, Viola Davis. I don't give a fuck what else Viola Davis plays in. She's gonna always be Annalise. You know what I mean?
Right.
Or Kerry Washington is always gonna be Olivia Pope. You know what I mean?
No doubt.
It's just like that.
certain characters is going to be these people forever. Not saying that they didn't play, because it's not like Kerry Washington didn't play great as the wife on Ray, or Viola Davis didn't play great as the wife on Fences. You know what I mean? Or or her being the grandma or Get Rich or Die Trying. Like, but we're just gonna know her as Annalise Keaton. You know what I mean? But there's certain other people, like if you watch Grey's Anatomy, the lady that plays Dr. Bailey, she's gonna be Bailey everywhere.
Yeah.
She's gonna be. I don't give a damn what she plays in. That's Bailey.
So you can accredit that, right? Because hey, look, remember back in the day when Mom used to talk about, I forget what soap opera.
You just called me, man.
No, I didn't call you nothing. Listen, remember back in the day. I wanted to say look, and I wanted to explain. Look,
Mira.
Pay attention. You gotta do it with the pop fingers and shit too, like that. So anyway,
shit be like.
Back in the day, I forget the name of the soap opera it was on. Maybe it was I think it was All My Children or something like that. I'm probably
Erica Kane.
Erica Kane. She was telling stories about how people were seeing her on the streets, like really running up on her and everything, yo.
Yeah. Like they tried to do Tariq and Ghost.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was about to say like they tried to do Tariq and Ghost. Like,
Amari Hardwick is gonna always be Ghost.
Forever.
Joseph Segura is gonna always be Tommy.
Forever.
It doesn't matter.
Right. So that's not a bad thing, but I know at some point or another, like for instance, the dude that played in Taken, one of the reasons why the main character, he was like at some point, he kind of chilled because he became boxed in. Like that was the only characters that you was accustomed to being able to see him in.
Right.
Like no matter what. So like, it's just different. It's just different things where your character, you can do extremely well at it, and then all of a sudden become one-dimensional.
But I want you to understand where I'm going with it. These are all characters in films. Do you still have the definition there?
Yeah.
All right, so the first one says something but about their mind.
It says the mental and moral qualities distinctive to an individual.
Right. So because they played these roles so well and we fell in love with these characters, we believe that mentally they were them. Even with our mental. When you play somebody's shit so strong, that's all you believe they is. That's crazy. However, I'm going to tell you one. I can't remember his name, but the guy who played Freddy Krueger, he had to stop playing Freddy Krueger because he said he started to become one with the character. I'm like, hold up, nigga. What, you want to kill people in their dreams and shit? Like, what's going on?
See?
You see what I'm saying?
Like they was talking about, if you think about it too, bro, they was saying, let me see, the original Joker, Jack
Nicholson.
Yeah. Was telling some of the other people, I can't think of the other guy's name who played like the Joker.
Yeah.
Be careful.
Yeah.
Because where you got to get psychologically to take on that role, he was saying be very careful.
Right.
Like Jack was able to play it, and that may be some real part of him to some degree, where he was able to balance that situation out.
Absolutely.
But because he
about him on The Shining.
Right, on The Shining, right. But
when he bust through the door, yeah.
Right, because his character is what it is, right? On that as the original Joker that everybody kind of uses as the measuring stick. Yeah. Anybody who wanted to perform that character from that point on wanted to do it at his level or better.
Right.
Even though they knew that it was hard to get around the original character. So what he was saying is he knew where he had to go psychologically, talking about the mental element of the situation.
Right.
And he was saying, be careful. Because if you're trying to supersede that, there were certain things that I allowed to go in there. Like you just said about the guy who played Freddy Krueger. Right. At one point, he started to become, because he got so used to into the character of him. And that's what happens. That's why this is a great topic, because if you don't actually be careful,
right,
the characters that you create, you will believe that you are those people. Like you will become that.
Just like the movie, I can't remember the name of it, but it came out maybe a year or two ago, 2 years ago, I think. where the dude played Fred Hampton from the Panthers, the one that played
Right,
in
right,
Get
right,
Out,
right, right, right.
right? I
Mm-hmm.
can't remember the name of the movie. However,
Yeah, yeah. You talking about
the one to
he's
do
the
the
same dude that played in Atlanta. He played in ATL.
yeah,
Um,
the one that was the snitch.
he played in Get Out.
Yeah, the main dude played in Get Out.
He did too at the
They
beginning.
both
Remember they
did. They
snatched him.
both did. Yeah.
Yeah.
But the main
Um,
dude that played Fred Hampton, he all right. But the dude who played, they both played in Get Out, but the one that played in ATL and played in the Western music, the movie that they just had on Netflix with the black. However, his role on that movie where that was about Fred Hampton, the one he played the
mhm.
snitch and set him up and all, bruh, he had to go to therapy after that.
No doubt.
The real guy, because he
No
got
doubt.
so into that role. That's what I don't know how true it is. That's what I heard. You know, if that brother didn't go to therapy, I'm sorry, but this is the shit I heard.
No. He did. The Judas.
Yeah,
You talking about Judas and the Black Messiah?
Judas and the Black Messiah, and the one that was Judas, because
Right.
he
The
had to
Judas.
go.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah, the one that played the Judas. And matter of fact, the first thing when you look the situation up, it shows him actually, like them even saying that he had to wind up going to,
yeah,
some, get some counseling afterwards.
yeah.
But once again, man, we talking about, you talking about character.
Right,
And sometimes you got to remember when you get ready to get into these different characters and roles, you don't know exactly how they're going to impact
right.
you. Like when you get ready to get in character, to perform a job. Like I would always say, like you look at and I'm not saying that people pretend to be these things, but like a police officer, just use that for an example.
Yes, I understand.
How they have to conduct themselves when they're in the community and all those things. I'm not saying that they don't usually conduct themselves that way,
Right,
but to me, there does need to be a separation between who you regularly are and who you are in that role. I know that was one of the first things that I had to learn how to do because if not, you'll bring your work home. And that
absolutely.
character, if you don't create that character to be able to differentiate between how you are in your home and how you are in that environment that you work in or whatever you
Uh-huh.
serve, it's a problem. Which is why sometimes you'll have people, and this ain't no joke, this real. This is why you have people who will come home from the military
Absolutely.
and they have to kind of decompress.
Hmm.
They have to kind of go through these things where they become what's again known as, you know, back in regular civilization, back into the framework of how that situation works. And that's why character is a big word. That's why tonight's, you know, topic, in the actual title of the show is big. It's very
Hmm.
big because it can go in so many different ways. Like I said, often it's aligned with, a person's credibility.
Right,
Often it's aligned with, their actions
right.
and how much they are, true to the person's word.
Absolutely.
And we as people got to remember, man, we share the world with a lot of different people, man, who got a lot of different things that's going on in their minds. And, you know, we have to be honest about the situation. We ain't always at our best. We're not.
When did
You
you
know what I mean?
realize though that powder was a part of your character?
I was a baby. I was a baby. And at the
Oh,
time,
yeah.
they was they had to put it in your pamper. I cannot think of anything else you could be talking about. You know what I'm saying? Like
So you don't remember that good batch you had?
soft patch.
Yeah. Salt batch cookies.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. That's all right. You know what I mean? Look, you know what I realized about you a long time ago, man? There's a side of you, man, that, has nothing to do with blow. Has nothing to do with blow. But you're just one of those guys that you just trying to let me know, AP, if that was the case, I still love you.
That's it. That's it,
I
bro.
understand. I
That's
understand.
it. I'm still
That's why
for
I
you.
never, that's why I never get like, I can't believe you. I don't get like that. Because Because I
Yeah,
know if I was sitting next to you and I was going to indulge in anything that could be harmful to my life, man, you
yeah.
would intervene
That's
in that
that's
situation.
like I Am Athlete, the episode, the show. Shout out to them. One of my other favorite podcasts I like to watch. It was an episode. I think the episode with Noriega was on there,
Hmm.
and Chad Johnson was like, "Yeah,
Nori is great for any podcast that he's on, man.
yeah."
Nori's funny as
I
hell.
think he was like Chad, but Chad Ochocinco was like, "Yeah, I don't smoke weed. I don't drink. I might do a few lines of coke here and there, but that's about it." Everybody said, "Whoa, whoa." Well, they was like, make sure you edit that. He said, I swear to God, you edit that. I ain't never coming. I ain't never doing the show again. That shit killed me, man. The way because he said it so smooth and nonchalant. I ain't. He said, I swear to God, I ain't doing the show again. You edit that. If that's what I do from time to time, that's what I do. That shit was funny as hell, man.
So, any
Super funny.
question?
Yes, sir.
What character you gonna get into for Valentine's Day, man?
What do you mean?
I mean, you got so many inside of you. Who's showing up for Valentine's? Is
It's
it?
only one E, man. There can only be one E. Nobody,
All right.
nobody, nobody like me. That's the
Okay.
R. Kelly.
All right. Well, that's fair enough. Fair enough. So, how do you feel about, like I said, people who question your character?
Well, it was a time, and if you go back to previous episodes, it was a time that people questioning my character bothered me. You know, I think it more so bothered me because it was like, when do you know me to be what you saying? You know what I mean? But then
Hmm.
I realized later that if that's really not you, because it's sometimes some things we can have in our character and we don't see. We're biased to our own, just like we're our own worst critics.
Hmm.
Some of us are biased to our real mistakes and our real flaws.
Hmm.
It's not that serious to us because it's a part of us. It's a part of our character. So if a
Absolutely.
person, so if a person is labeling something that's a part of my character, I'm a different person. I accept it and I go with it. Like some people say, and I had to really realize it. People say, talking to me, they don't like talking to me because I take over the conversation, and sometimes they just want me to listen. I had to realize that was something about me. You know what I mean? When I seeked help for that, I looked in the Bible, Book of James, be slow to speak, quick to listen, and
Okay.
that's what it took me right there. However, when sometimes people make the comment, you just gotta always be right. Um, I don't agree with that because I would say to the person, you know, I'm not saying I'm right. I'm not saying you right. I'm not saying I'm wrong. If I'm stating that in the conversation, and then you turn around and say you just gotta always be right, then you're obviously not listening to me. My whole
Right.
goal when I come from my point of view is just me explaining to you that your way may not be your way is not the only way. In your eyes, you're trying to say which the way you see this is the only way. The only thing that's the only way is facts. It's like, okay, 2 plus 2 is 4. It's nothing else.
Hmm.
We agree with that.
Hmm.
2 plus 2 is 4. It's nothing else. Like it's 1 plus 1 is 2. Like it just we all agree with that. But
Right. No doubt.
if a person says the only way you can give me $4, you gotta give me $2 today and $2 tomorrow. That's no. I can give you $1 today, 3 tomorrow. If I got 2 days to give you $4, hell, I can give you I can give you $2.50 today and $1.50 tomorrow. It's multiple ways. You understand what I'm saying? Well,
Hmm.
you just gotta always be right. No, it's options. A person has options. However, 2 plus 2 equals 4. That's a fact. There's no way around that.
Right.
And when I break shit down like that, and people say, you know, some people used to make that label about my character. But when a person just says that, man, you ain't never on time. Whoa,
Right.
whoa,
It's a question mark. Yeah. Which where you getting
yeah,
that from? Because you don't have
yeah,
no supporting fact for that.
right. Like I'm pretty much on time, 95% of the time at work daily. I've never missed a flight in my life.
Find some wood, man.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, I get what you're going with, but I'm just saying, like, you understand what I'm saying? I'm not knocking people who might have overslept and missed the flight, but I'm just saying, like, I'm one of those people that rather be early and looking stupid than to be running right on time.
Right.
That's just
Right.
me.
Okay. Well, look, it wouldn't be our character if we didn't jump into this week's episode of You Know What, brother.
So what we're gonna do now is go to welcome to another episode of This or That, where we sit back and P asks me a question. Either it's gonna be this or that. But sometimes I gotta get feedback. So without further ado, let's get to what we gotta do. Let's go.
Absolutely. Welcome to another episode of This or That.
This
Where I
or
ask you
that.
questions, and he gives me an answer. And sometimes it's direct, and like he said, sometimes it's not.
Sometimes I freestyle on the mouth.
Wrestler or football player?
Football player.
Professional bowler or poker player?
Damn. Go with poker, man. I'm gonna go with poker because I can smoke a cigar while I'm doing that.
Professional league coach or college coach?
I gotta go to the pros, man. I gotta go pros. I'm a pro.
Okay.
I got pros in different area codes.
That's all right. You playing closer. Actor or model?
Actor. Look at this.
Okay.
This face belongs on the tizoo.
Oh yeah, that was on man the other day. News anchor or meteorologist?
Meteorologists, I love meteorologists. They can fuck up all the time, man. They can fuck up. So yeah, man. And then they say it was an act of God. The wind blew it to the west, and it didn't get where we didn't get. Still the shit though.
That's it. Dentist or podiatrist?
What the podiatrist do? Play with your feet?
Yep.
I got. Oh shit. That's kind of hard. Just like play with feet or because most people come to the dentist with their breath stink. Some of that shit make your stomach hurt. As bad as they breath stink. Yeah, I'm just gonna be a gynecologist.
Oh, come on, man. Yeah, you won't be long.
Yeah.
I know you.
Yeah, that wasn't even going to be part of the question, huh?
Yeah, that's how I know that inner perv is right there behind it.
Nah, I don't play with my job like that. Nah, I would be
I ain't worried about you playing.
podiatrist out of those two. Yeah, podiatrist.
Okay. All right, stockbroker or day trader? Got it. Ooh.
Nah, you didn't get me. That's easy.
All right, well, go ahead then.
Day trader. I want my money and I want it now. See, here's the thing about being a stockbroker or dealing with stocks. You buy stock, it goes up. You gotta let it grow. It's like building a nest egg. You're planting a seed. Then it hits a peak, and you like, damn, don't pull it yet. I ain't gonna pull it yet. No, I ain't gonna pull it yet. And then you don't pull it, and then the bitch drop and never go back. You took 13 years to realize, bitch, you got a dud. But the day trader, you gonna find out right there.
So that's where you're going with. I like that. That's what you're going with.
But you gotta have a strategy. You gotta understand it.
Anything short of that, man, is you're wasting your time. All right. Auctioneer or sportscaster?
Sportscaster. I ain't got time to get. We got a man with a red hat. We got a man with an orange hat. He said $9 over here. $10 for the guy in the green hat. Okay, so $14 for the young lady in the pink shirt. Yes, right. Okay, $15 for the powderhead. How powderhead? How do you got? You got 15. You got a 15 as a powderhead. You got how you get a 50? Oh, got $20 from the crackhead. Okay, good crackhead. Okay, got $23 and some boat from the boat head over there.
FBI agent or local police officer? I'm gonna tell you
an
what,
FBI
though, before you
agent.
answer that though, right?
Yeah,
If we were still doing snippets,
yeah, that was it.
not even a question.
FBI agent,
question.
FBI agent, man.
All right. Secret Service or private bodyguard?
I gotta be private bodyguard, and it all depends on the guy's character. Because if he talk a lot of shit, I ain't protecting him. You know what I mean? I'm just not doing that, P. You know what I mean? Secret Service, I can't jump in front of a person probably was lying anyway. That's some bullshit.
All right. All right. All right. Police officer or security guard?
Huh? You just asked me a cop or FBI.
Listen, man, I ain't writing.
I ain't a security guard, man. I'm a police officer over the guard.
Okay.
Man. Freeze! Because some fucking security guards don't even got guns, man.
Damn. All right, so look, let me say this, though. Let me say this.
Yeah.
Holiday, like I said, Valentine's coming up. When it comes to the sheets, we looking for silk sheets or flannel sheets.
I gotta be silky, a little slick to it, like little. Hear that noise?
Come on, E, man.
That
Is that what it sounds?
Nah, like silk sound like that. Flannel feel like you got on you got some wool shit, sheepskin like latterly, like sheepskin like wool.
All right, last one, man. Last one. Grown question. Preference: sleep in PJs or in the nude?
In the nude, man. They say you more attractive when you sleep nude. I'm that type of dude like to sleep in the nude and put my shorts next to the bed. So if something happens, I just get up and put them on. But I wanted to swing free.
That's all I had this week, bro. You can go ahead and take us on out. Take us
We're
back,
gonna go
baby.
out here and... That was another episode of This or That, where everybody knows that we come right back. Thank you for listening to this episode of This or That, and now we're going to get right back. Let's go. What, bro? What you talking about?
Hell. You are an auctioneer, E. I don't, whenever they play this back, and I know when I watch this, and when everybody else check it out, by far, bro, don't cut yourself short.
What do you mean?
Quite sure you could be an auctioneer if you really wanted to.
You think so?
I think it could be one of your characters.
You think
Yeah,
so?
I do think so. Yes. We talked about it before in terms of character. What's a characteristic? Like you said, character being part of the or derived from the word characteristic. What's an attractive characteristic? I guess I gotta say it that way, characteristic. Or something that's attractive about a person's character for you. Like what is something that you look and you were like, wow, I'm drawn to that. I like that.
I really like it's levels. Okay, so I'm gonna start with this. I can tell a lot of people's character from their taste of music.
Okay.
Some people may not agree, but like for example, Summer Walker right now has an album out. Her last album is, you can tell she's a little hurt, frustrated. She had a baby by London on the track, and it didn't work out. And a lot of people were loving that album. Some people say it relates to them. Not everybody, I don't believe everybody, but I think a lot of people who relate to that stuff, in my own opinion, sometimes makes me feel like they didn't get past whatever hurt them in the past.
Okay.
Okay. As an artist, I respect what she made, because as an artist, and you being an artist, you're gonna speak on what you're feeling at the time.
But I've also heard artists later on in life, when life gets together and life's a lot better for them. They hate it when they were in this type of mind frame at this time. Like they hate that album. They
Right.
understand it was a masterpiece, but they hate that album. Um, some people don't realize that. You use Usher for an example. Why Confessions was probably the biggest album of his career, because he was confessing to how he really feels, his wrongs. He had explained that I was stupid. I did. He was taking accountability the whole album, and that was something that a lot of people don't do. So men will turn around and take accountability. You know what I mean? Um, Women to sit there a lot of times and create these anthems like, we ain't got to take your shit. And I'm not saying that they have to take the shit, but when you sit back and you think about a lot of classic lady R&B singers,
Right.
their number one songs are songs when they showing love.
Mhm.
You understand what I'm saying? Like Beyonce can put a lot of anthems in, and it's different when she speaks on her type of stuff, her type of music. It's like she was basically telling people, I'm good with you or without you. That's why you must not know about me. You must not know about, like, that's a whole type of different type of thing. However, she also makes Dangerously in Love,
Right.
which people still ask for that song. I'm just saying, like, as a DJ, that works. But certain people, when I hear them, like, oh, this is the hottest album that's out right now, this is the shit, this and that, I feel like they still hurt. Because they relate to it, and they're relating to that side where they were hurt. But I think when a person turns around and listens to like, it's not a shock. Like, people like Will Smith, songs like Getting Jiggy With It was number one back in the day, because it was about having fun.
You're right.
You understand what I'm saying? Or
Mhm.
still to this day, you still hear drums, please. Chicka 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 boom boom da boom ba dum da ga boom da boom da boom 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 da da boom 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 da da boom 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 ticka summer. I don't care how old it get. It's because it was about a happy moment. So when I watch a person and I hear them listening to nothing but happy songs, and their favorite songs are happy songs, I know that they're a happy person, and I respect that. Now, it may sound contradiction. I might contradict myself talking about how my favorite song of all time is "Can You Stand the Rain," but it's not a negative song. It's just asking you a question. Like, I know everything is good. When everything is good, we good in the hood.
That's right.
But tell me, baby, can you stand the rain when shit get bad? Can you run with it? And people, and when I meet people, when I used to, even back then, when I met women who really appreciate that song, I'm like, okay, they get it, because music is supposed to be something that hits you and you understand it. Whether it's Summer Walker singing about her pain, and I'm not saying these people are bad people who feel this way. I just understand that their mind still connects to that. You understand what I'm saying?
I got
Uh,
you.
but happy songs, it's bro, just think about it. Number one hits, like, cause I'm happy, that's clap along if you feel like it on the roof. Cause I'm
Mhm.
happy, because shit like that's gonna always win. You know
That's
what I
right.
mean?
Yeah.
It's just how life is, man. You know? That's why people used to say to me, you'll make a good A&R, because they might even look at these songs and say, oh, it's too pop, it's too commercial, it's just about money at the end of the day, it's about business, because really people want to be happy, because most of your people are happy in the world. But music will paint that character to bring out that, man, that was fucked up, man. You know what I mean?
He ain't had to do that to me.
Mm-hmm.
He ain't had to take my girl like that, man. I don't like that nigga. Seriously.
I agree.
So,
Yeah.
after I went on my little tangent right there, it's just I learned a person's character by early by music. Later, just what they show me.
Mm-hmm.
And if it's something I could tolerate, I'm good. Because most relationships are last from what a person's flaw is. Think about it. I just said "Can You Stand the Rain" is my favorite song. So obviously, the most annoying part of them, if I could, that's the rain to me. If I could stand it, then I'm alright.
Right. Nah, exactly. Yeah. It's funny because when you're busy trying to create your own character, sometimes you don't even realize the things that you drawn to.
Right.
Not even okay. So I take that back. Maybe creating your character is not so much what I meant. When you're busy making sure that you're protecting your identity or your character, right, and you're making sure that you have it out there, full frontal for people to be able to see. You you find yourself sometimes not quite sure what you're actually interested in a situation, right? Like even partnerships, just doing business. It ain't always so much a situation of romance. I mean, I'm talking about finance. I'm talking about just doing business with people and everything like that. Just a good judge
Right.
of character. You know, if I'm making time and you making time, to me, that's a good judge of character. If
Right.
we communicating very well, you know what I mean. Whether we agree upon everything or not, that's not a prerequisite to be able to have success. But to me, if we at least can agree to disagree on certain situations, to me, that's good character. Because more often than not, what we'll do is we'll let the business dictate the reality that even if we're not in agreement to what we're talking about, we're not going to let that, stop us from being able to move forward. That's
Right.
just across the board. Same thing in parenting, same thing in, you know what I mean, any other thing that you're dealing with. You know what I mean? So, whether we realize it or not, the reason why I asked you that question is because we do look for certain characteristics in people. We do, whether we realize it or not. Like I made a video a few days ago, and it brought to light energy,
Right.
and it explained the situation of how sometimes, man, people don't realize the value of energy from a person, right? Because
Right.
you got people, you could be on a high, right? And I don't mean like a blast. I mean
Nah, I
just
understand. I already know
okay.
exactly. And I agree with you. I'm listening to him. Just let you talk
You
your
could be
wisdom.
on a high, right? And walk around certain people, and they're like a vacuum, and they could try to suck all of the energy out of that situation and get you to go a whole different direction, right? You go a whole different direction. And by going in this direction, it kind of takes you a little bit out of your character because you go into this protective mode, right? Because now you're trying to protect your joy, protect your peace, like we talk about.
Right.
And now you do look different. Now your character does look different because now you're in defense of something that really you like. I didn't want to, this is supposed to be a joyous situation, but yet here I am presenting it, and you're trying to deflate it. You're not
Right.
questioning my ability in it because clearly I've had success in it. But if you turn around and now you're trying to deflate it, now I have a problem with that, which makes me question your character, which makes me come out of character.
Deflate
And
you.
as we grew, I got better at that, and that's why I was saying what I was saying to you a little earlier in the show. I had to get comfortable with the reality that it's easier for me to let me just go ahead because I may need to go back this way again, and I want to make sure that when I do, I want to be able to present to them. Now, how are we going to do this? Because the last time this came about, you had an issue with it. I moonwalked on it because I didn't want to come out of character and be somebody that I'm not with you.
Right.
So that's one of the things in terms of the energy and the draw and how infectious and the magnetic element of how those things work and how much character actually plays into how we actually you know spend our time with people,
Right.
whether we realize it or know it or not.
Right. Yeah. Well, with that being said, man, this is episode 59. Character.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you know you can catch us in any of these podcast streaming sites. You know, your iHeartRadios,
Spotify,
your Apple Podcasts,
Google Podcast,
Amazon Music,
Audible,
Radio Public,
Overcast Radio.
and Red Circle. Red
Absolutely.
Circle. Uh huh.
Absolutely.
And you can see our handsome faces weekly right on our YouTube channel, The Porch Podcast. That's it, The Porch Podcast. You can follow us individually at Mr. Influential right there at the bottom of your screen. You follow us both at The Porch 30, and of course, you can follow the one and only P Original 1996.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yep, so
Absolutely. Hey, man, as always, man, we appreciate you guys checking in with us each and every week. As we keep saying, man, tell a friend, you know what I mean? Share. Make sure you like, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you know when all the content is dropping. Like I said, whether it's through YouTube or like we're talking about through YouTube or any of your favorite podcasts and streaming sites, we appreciate you each and every week, and we look forward to the next one.
peace.
We're going to holler at y'all. Peace.